What are your favorite money saving tips? A trick that always works for me is to think about how many hours wages I am spending on something. As someone who previously had a huge spending problem, this has helped me realize that I've worked hard for my money, and I'd rather be working my butt off for a stress-free life financially than living payday to payday buying meaningless crap. Whenever you feel the urge to buy a non-necessity, give yourself a couple of days before you buy it. Oftentimes, the impulse will have passed and you'll be glad to still have the money. Or if it's on sale limited stock, you won't even have the option of purchasing it after, since it won't be worth it or sold out. I do this a lot. If you are a student, learn to cook. If you are working, bring lunch to work every day. You'll save a lot of money. When you go shopping, especially grocery shopping, make a list and stick to it, and never grocery shop on an empty stomach, or after a busy day or week. You'll be more inclined to buy bad food and make poorer purchasing decisions. People waste a ton of money ordering food and prepared stuff. Just look up some tutorials and save some real money. And never grocery shop on an empty stomach. But I ran out of food like a week ago, and every day I get hungrier and hungrier. Pay your credit card off completely every month. Don't let it accumulate interest. Don't purchase things you don't have the cash for. Too many people get over their heads in credit card debt, and it's hard to dig yourself out at 18% interest. To add to this, if you have a credit card debt that you're struggling to pay off, think about doing a balance transfer to a long 0% interest card. I've seen some for 40 months. Makes it a lot easier to pay off a bulk with no interest. I was quite bad for really wanting things and buying them as soon as I got paid. Of course, as the end of the month came near, I had barely any money left and struggled. To fix this, instead of buying things at the start of the month, I decided to buy things at the end of the month if I still had enough of that month's wages left over to do so. If I didn't, then I did the same again and wait till the end of the next month. And of course, last month's leftovers plus the new month's wage, by the end of the second month I had enough, and sometimes saved money as the item was now cheaper. Basically, patience and timing means I can still have the things I want and not be struggling near the end of the month. I'm in a much better place financially now. I once bought a 500 pack of tea bags. That was 3 years ago. I ran out this week. Rice. That son of a bee goes with everything, even rice. Ask yourself if you need it or only want it. If you want it, but don't need it, give yourself 24 hours to decide whether it's worth purchasing. But the sale ends in an hour. Potatoes. Keep plenty of them in stock. They can sit for a long time in the pantry or fridge. They're versatile, easy to cook, and filling. I accidentally overbought today and carried home 3 freaking sacks of the dang things. Guess I'm gonna be good in the dinner department for a while. On every payday, I move half of what I had left over from last pay period over into my savings account. Paying yourself. Sometimes it's not a lot, but it has added up quickly. I also add $5 to each of my kids' savings accounts every payday. They each have over $1,000 and my personal savings has just reached 5 figures. As a single mom, who has always lived paycheck to paycheck, I have surprised myself. No lie, good for you. That's very impressive. Your kids will love you more than they already do for how you have set them up. Edit. Wow, that's about ton of upvotes. Thank you, but you cupcakajan deserves them for being great. Make as much food as you can. Buying lunch every day at work adds up. I tried to never spend more on lunch than I was making in half an hour. Look at your bank statement. Actually look at where your money goes. I made an Excel spreadsheet to budget with. Has all my bills, what I make each month, and what to put aside to save any specific amount. So far this year alone, I've managed to save $4,000. This was already touched upon, but meal prep. Pick a day, generally Sunday, and spend a couple hours cooking and storing everything for the next week. This also helps if you're trying to lose weight. I lost 30 pounds being cheap and planning ahead. Try to eat things from home rather than grab something quick from the deli across the street from your work, because, although it may seem cheap, it adds up really quickly. Get water with your meal when you eat out. $1 to $4 savings immediately. Secret tip: never order soda at a buffet. The bubbles will replace delicious ribs and ice cream. Reading Reddit instead of going out and having a real life. Writing down everything you spend your money on. I did this. Turns out I was spending quite a bit on pens and notepads. I pay with credit card for everything I buy. I get points from my credit card. I pay off my credit card in full each month and there are no fees for the card. Essentially MasterCard pays me several $100s a year for using their card. If you are actually good with money and credit. Stop spending $150 on dinner drinks. I wish I would have listened to myself last night. Dining out was my biggest money waster too. This time last year, I was going to restaurants at least 3 or 4 nights a week. I've always loved going to restaurants, but it got to where I was dining out so often. It was no longer special and I got bored with all my favorite places. Now that I'm only dining out once a week at most, it's become something special again. Make a game of going as many days as you can without spending a penny, excluding absolute necessities like gas, groceries, bills. Works like a charm for me. You don't have to pay for the basic necessities if you go to prison for tax evasion. You also save by not paying taxes. Don't start spending as soon as the paycheck lands. Keep your self-indulgence purchases to the end of the month after the last known bill is paid. That way you'll know how much you can burn while keeping the budget low enough so there is still an upward trend in the account before the next paycheck drops. Plan your groceries on a weekly basis. I can manage to comfortably provide food and drink for a family of 3 at $100 week. If you spend less, don't carry the difference over to next week, just keep it an even weekly number. This will get lost but hopefully it will help the one person who reads to the bottom. Carry with you the knowledge that your parents and grandparents didn't magically start out with a house full of bathrooms, stainless appliances, multiple TVs and other electronics. Granted, it's okay to not have everything, to accumulate your stuff over time. Don't get suckered in by the lifestyle TV shows or articles online or from your peer group. It's okay and financially responsible to defer gratification. It will come. Don't spend money. But really don't waste money on sales for things you don't need. Do meal prepping. Make a budget for yourself. Carry cash as it's harder to spend money when you can actually see it. Sign up for email newsletters and use coupons whenever possible. And cut out anything unnecessary or that doesn't serve a really positive purpose in your life. The cash tip actually backfires for me. Whenever I have cash in my wallet I think, well, that's not making it back into the bank ever, so I just spend it fairly liberally. It's easier for me to just not carry cash since then I have to decide whether that $5-7 drink is worth it. Save all your singles separately. Singles are the new change. Every time you buy a Big Mac, take out one ingredient and set it to one side. Then at the end of the week, you get a free Big Mac. Don't buy anything bigger than $20 unless you've given yourself at least a day to think it over, obviously excluding gasoline, groceries, and other necessities. A lot of people buy stupid crap in the moment and regret it not long after. Buy store brands. Buying quantity when stuff on sale. I like a particular toothpaste but it is expensive, except every few months it goes on sale for like 1/3 off. When that happens I buy 6 or 8 tubes, then I've got a supply until it goes on sale again. I do that with a lot of stuff, even cheap stuff, like soda. 2-liter bottles are usually between $1 and $1.50 each. I just bought a dozen bottles of my favorites for $0.88 each. Yeah, my average savings is maybe $0.25 each, but it adds up. I do the same with cereals. Sometimes the $4 box is on sale for $1.75, so I buy 6 of them. Dude, if you do this, you'd like Costco. They had wontons, and they were already cheaper since it was a bulk pack, but they had an additional sale so I grabbed extra bags. I still haven't ran out. Buy greeting cards at the dollar store. I get greeting cards for 99 cents that are as good, or better, than ones selling for $4.99 plus elsewhere. Or better, no friends, no greeting cards at all. Go to the ETC section of Craigslist a few times a week to see if there are any focus groups. They basically ask you a bunch of questions about a new product, or make you write a diary about your shaving habits for a week. things like that. They pay $75 to $300. Many more opportunities if you live in a city. A good way to have some burner money and save your paychecks from drunken waste. If you have kids, buy what you can used. Toys, clothing, furniture, etc. They go through clothes so fast, so paying full price is stupid. You can often find brand new with tags stuff at the Goodwill, garage sales or local buy and sell pages. Thrifting your own clothing isn't a bad idea either. Counterintuitive, but buy the best you can afford and take good care of your stuff. Since you know you have the best you can afford, you don't have the constant itch to replace and upgrade. For example, buy quality clothes, get them tailored so that they fit, no stretching to wear them out, and then clean them correctly, rather than constantly buying replacing cheap stuff. Keep good stuff long term. Same thing with cars, appliances, etc. Good quality has higher upfront costs but can have long-term savings. Do your grocery shopping on a full stomach. I save my biggest meal for grocery day and gorge myself just before I go to the supermarket. Not only do I spend less, but I'll buy much healthier food for the rest of the week as well. I saw someone on here who put all their $5 bills in an envelope for a year. I started doing that in February. I'm not going to count them until next February. That envelope is already getting thick with bills. My dad sometimes breaks off the bottom part of the broccoli stalk that you don't eat so that it weighs less. Yeah. Actually, if you use a vegetable peeler to take off the outer layer of the stalk and then slice or dice it up, it's pretty tasty. Not just the florets are fair eating. My savings account is at a separate bank from my checking account. I can still deposit and withdraw money from my checking account electronically, but it takes 3 business days to do either. This works well for me because it prevents me from just hopping on my phone and transferring money into checking for an impulse purchase in a matter of seconds. 3 days isn't long, but it's enough time to prevent me from buying crap I don't really need or even want. Also, since it takes 3 business days, I have to initiate the transaction no later than Tuesday, or it won't hit my account until the following Monday. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's still plenty of meat on that bone. Now you take this home, throw it in a pot, add some broth, a potato. Baby, you've got the stew going. There's no such thing as saving money by buying something on sale. You're spending it. That being said, if you do buy something on sale, make sure it is something that you always replace when it runs out no matter what. Like trash bags, toilet paper, deodorant, laundry detergent, etc. Whatever you feel like you can't live without. Drink at home, alone. No buying drinks, no tipping, and nobody will judge you for drinking the cheapest stuff you can. Added bonus, no reason to waste money on laundry or new clothes at all. No one to judge you if you wear the same thing for weeks. Play your goddamn Steam backlog. I spend less than you earn. I don't get emotionally involved with someone who doesn't get. Especially, don't agree to joint finances with someone who doesn't get. Insistence on joint finances should be viewed as a major red flag. Live with your parents. Am I right, guys? Where my fellow basement dwellers at Squad Up. Every time you go to buy something, ask yourself whether you'd rather have that money in your wallet, or you'd rather have whatever you're about to buy. It's very easy for me to go out and spend $100 plus on dinner without thinking about it, but not when I think about how much better it feels to have that $100 in my wallet. Day 1 save a penny. Day 2 save 2 pennies. Day 3 save 4 pennies. Day 4 save 8 pennies. Keep doubling the amount each day for a month, and by the end of the first month you can retire as a millionaire. You have been visited by the party pug. He just wants you to celebrate with him. Comment woohoo to celebrate with the party pug. Thanks for watching. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day, you magnificent people.